Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to take a few minutes to kind of explain my story here and what I was able to do using the resources that I had available to me. So my name is James and I'm in the Navy. I'm stationed down here in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I've been down here for a couple years now, and I was here during the Hurricane Maria and Hurricane Irma that both hit the north coast of Puerto Rico, causing a whole lot of damage, especially Maria, taking the water and power from everybody from the island. So as soon as the storm hit on September 25th, I believe, my power went out at about 4 o'clock in the morning. It was out for a little bit over a month, and then it came back for about 2 weeks. But during that 2 weeks, it was very sporadic. I had it for 4 hours. I would lose it for 2 days. I would get it for 1 day. I would lose it for couple hours, and then I would lose it for 3 days. It was really inconsistent. I couldn't rely on it, and it made a lot of things very uncomfortable, because even though it's November and back home in the States it's probably in the 50s or below right now because it's nighttime, but down here it's about 85 to 90 degrees with almost 100% humidity, so it's scorching hot. So when the power went out, I went on YouTube as soon as I was able to, and I was doing some research to see how I could get power so I wasn't left in that situation again. So what I'm going to show you here is what I was able to get to with some help of people from YouTube, and it was extremely helpful, and I'm definitely going to hold on to this for a long time. So I live in a condo, and in condos and apartments you're not allowed to have an actual diesel or gas generator, because they're dangerous, they use combustible fuels, they can catch on fire, those types of things. So my option was to go to YouTube and see what I could do to make a generator that would not be fueled by by gasoline. So what I found is one that I can use a battery for, and it uses solar energy. So I'm going to explain kind of how the process works here. So what will happen is you have the sun, an infinite supply of energy. It will send the power to this 100-watt solar panel that I have right here. I haven't really been home during the daytime to set up the angles correctly with the sun, but I'm going to see if I can do that tomorrow so that I can get the right amount of sun coming in to maximize the input from that panel. So the sun will come in from the panel, and then it will go to this. This is called a solar charge controller. Right now, you can see it says 12.0 volts. That's actually the voltage on the battery that's inside. And you can also see there that I've got 3 of 5 bars for my battery. So I'm somewhere around 60%, probably a little bit more because it was just on 4 not too long ago. So what will happen is the solar panel will get connected right to here. So you have the positive and the negative sides. And then also on the panel it shows the battery. So the positive and the negative terminals of the battery are connected to these ports right here. And they're really easy to connect. And then on the other side, you got this little light bulb here. This is where the load is. So this is what it's going to actually power, what you're going to use it for. So if I click through here, I cycle through, you can see the voltage of the battery. Now you can see the temperature. It's 26 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that means, but I know it's not too hot right now, so it's not very bad. But that shows me the temperature, and the thermostat is actually right here. This is showing me the power that I'm getting from the sun right now. But because the solar panel is not connected, I need to do some adjustments with it. I'm getting 0 right now. Now this is the amperage that is going out. And right now it's 5.0 amps, but I'll show you right here. If I turn off my power, it goes all the way down to 0. So I don't have to unplug my battery or any of that kind of stuff when I'm not using it necessarily, because it's not going to drain too quickly. No different than if you just leave your car off for a while, so about a month or so. So I'm going to turn it back on and go back to here. So that's the amps that are coming out. And this is showing me what I've gained from the sun. So only 10 amp hours, which is about 1/8 of my battery. And that was about 4 days, so that's pretty bad. So I need to make some adjustments and set the panel up to where I can get more sun. So that's cycling through there. What I'm going to show you next is inside here so you can kind of understand what I've got going on. So I showed you that the solar charge panel is connected to the battery. You can see that right here with the alligator clips. And then also from the panel, it goes to a 400 watt inverter. So this is like a plug that you would generally plug into your car, into the cigarette outlet, and then you'll have some 120 ports that will come off of that. So I have some holes in the side of my box here, so you can see that it's on. I have two 120 plugs, and there's also a USB, but I need to cut that out. That's in the center here. So I want to show you what this is running to. So I've got an extension cord. This is a surge protector, and it's going right here. So I have my phone chargers right here. I could plug that in and it'll charge my phone pretty quickly. And then I have another short extension cord that's going to the other side of my bed here. This is a godsend, essentially. So what I have here, this is my air conditioning. So I have a pump. I also found this on YouTube, so I'm not going to take credit and say that I came up with this idea. I do understand a little bit how an AC works, but I wouldn't have figured this out without the video. So I've got a pump in my water here, yes, I have a pump in the water here, and there's a big block of ice that I made it work. So the problem with this is I gotta get ice from somewhere, and that's not very easy to do when there's no power across the entire island. But I was able to make that ice at my work. And you also have the option, some gas stations open and they were making ice. If you could get it, you'd probably wait a while, but you could get it. So the pump is pulling the water up through all these copper coils, which, because it's ice water, it's really cold, the coils get really cold, and they create condensation in the air. So that water is not, the water that you see on here is not actually coming out of the cooler. This is coming from the air, this is the condensation. And then because it's so cold, and the fan's blowing across it, it's going to make my room probably about 5 to 10 degrees cooler than it is. So then that 100% feeling and about 85. So it's really nice. The problem is it's not really going to push that much air. I can't cool my entire apartment with these coils right here on this one fan. But this fan is what's drawing that power, so that 5.5 amps that I showed you was coming out. So this is pretty much the setup that I have. I can plug some more stuff into it, but the more I plug in, obviously the battery's going to die quicker. Some other things that I did to get through the storm that you might want to have on hand in your house. I have a citronella candle here. This was sent to me by my friend Jeff, and it's extremely helpful because there's a lot of mosquitoes. I live right on the beach here, and that's a little battery operated fan that I can recharge also using USB, and a battery, or a clock right there that uses batteries. So I was very surprised to see that most of the clocks that take batteries are only to save the time, so that when the power kicks back on in your house, the time will still be there. So that's that. But I got that, and it definitely helps me, especially if I wasn't able to charge my phone before I created my generator here. So that would make sure I made it to work on time. Another thing that I found, I'm going to show you over here. This is my bathroom. So these are as seen on TV light switches. So if you look here, this is my regular light switch. Pretty much common sense. This is the other switch that I have, that I was using without the power in my apartment. So you can obviously see that that is extremely bright. I'm going to turn the lights off here so you can see how much light I'm getting in my bathroom. It almost looks like I have power in there because there's so much light coming from it, and that was extremely helpful. And I'm going to get more of those as well. So that's pretty much the setup that I have here. It worked out very well for me, and I'm glad that I was able to find the people on YouTube that did this, and it helped me get through. And there's a lot of efforts and stuff that are going on in Puerto Rico to make the situation better, but they're taking a long time, and for a lot of people, a long time is too long. There's a lot of people that are not making it through. But I just wanted to show you what I have here, and I also created this video so I can look back in a few years and see where I was and where I am now. So I wish you all a great afternoon or a great night wherever you are, and God bless.